Evolution of corporate social responsibility, Session 5. At the end of this session, you should be able to learn the evolution of corporate social responsibility. You should be able to define corporate social responsibility, the elements of corporate social responsibility, and corporate social responsibility stance. Evolution of corporate social responsibility. Business ethics is concerned with the standards of behavior in the conduct of business. So as we've been reading, business ethics, what are the values that is needed in an organization to ensure a foreseeable sustainability? We have CSR requires an organization to go beyond simply adhering to minimum ethical standards. So the fact that you have an ethical policy doesn't mean that's just what you should adhere to. You have to go beyond it. You have to go beyond what the society needs and how it's going to affect the organization. So this has been the evolution of corporate social governance so far. It's not just a matter of the ethical, the business ethics or the code of the conduct in the organization. It goes beyond the CSR as an obligation to the society. So now you have to go beyond adhering to your code of ethics and also factor in the CSR as a component of our sustainability. Basic elements of corporate social responsibility. CSR is socially mediated and likely to be specific to the time and culture in which it is considered. So here when we say socially mediated, what is the social need? And it's likely specific to the time of the need and the culture as at that time. So society has a need and its culture. So how are you socially going to what? Link it to organizational goals. CSR could include staff development via training and education. This is where the human resource based CSR. Equal opportunity statements, so that people from the community can also be given equal opportunity in the organization. So here we talk about equal opportunity statements that allows people in the organization in the community who are qualified enough to also apply for jobs or whatnot. Written anti-discrimination policies. It is important that discrimination is avoided in the organization. So as a part of CSR, there should be a code of ethics, that is a written anti-discrimination policy in the organization. Commitment to reporting on corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility shouldn't just be a social responsibility. There should be commitment to it. So as you commit, then you have to report on it, socially audit what you are doing and not. So commitment to reporting on corporate social responsibilities. We have policies for restricting the use of child labor by suppliers. It's important for organizations to avoid child labor abuse in the community in which they find themselves. It is important, even if you are going to use these young persons, you have to register them in the right office. You have to know the laws guiding employing young persons. If you have to underpay them, the number of hours that they have to work in the organization, how much you should pay them. You should also avoid abusing their rights. Then we have policies on fair trading in the organization. It's also a part of corporate social responsibility. Commitment to the protection of the local environment is also very important as a corporate social responsibility. Different organizations take very different stances on social responsibility, and their different stances will be reflected in how they manage such responsibilities through their social responsibilities. So different organizations and their managers may have different stance on their social responsibilities. So how they go about it determines how they will manage such responsibilities. We have 4 corporate responsibility stances. We have the laissez-faire corporate responsibility stance. Here, it is the government's role to prescribe through legislation and regulation the constraints which are placed on businesses in their pursuit of economic efficiency. So here, the organization doesn't do anything on its own. It goes according to the government's role to prescribe through legislation and regulation. So the government will bring the laws, regulations as to what is your social responsibility in your pursuit of economic value creation or efficiency. Shaper of society corporate social responsibility stance. This one is geared towards ensuring that society benefits from an organization's actions. It's more important than their financial obligation to other stakeholder interests. So here, the organization is a shaper of the society. It is more interested in shaping the society by giving the society the benefits that they need as a part of its social responsibility. It doesn't consider financial and other stakeholder interests to be more important, not even their shareholder interests. They are more interested in shaping the community in which they find themselves in. Enlightened self-interest corporate social responsibility stance. Here is a long-term shareholder interest. Here, what we are saying is a long-term benefit to shareholders from well-managed relationships with other stakeholders. So here you are more interested in maintaining a long-term relationship to your shareholder. So your shareholder becomes more important to you than other aspects of the organization in your social responsibility. So here you want to maintain a long-term benefit to shareholders by maintaining a very good relationship to other stakeholders. So the shareholders' needs will determine how you work with other stakeholders. You have the multiple stakeholder obligations. Here you accept the legitimacy of the expectations of stakeholders other than shareholders and build those expectations into the organization's stated purpose. So here your corporate social responsibility stance is involved, it includes all other stakeholders in the organization, outside the organization. It is very important. So here is a multiple stakeholder obligation. It also ensures there is ethical inclusion. So here you are going to ensure ethical inclusion of the other important stakeholders in the organization and to the organization. That's what we call the multiple stakeholder obligation, not just the enlightened self-interest where you consider the shareholder interest alone. We have identified the elements of corporate social responsibility. We also learned about corporate social responsibility stances. We identified 4 stances of corporate social responsibility that organizations can take. See you in the last session of Unit 3.